Namaskaram, Shubdinam, warm greetings to all of you. Honorable Governor of Kerala, Shri Arif Mohammad Khan ji, a man of great learning, and I came to be associated with him when we both were elected to Parliament in 1989. We were members of the Council of Ministers then, a long association. Honorable Chief Minister of Kerala, Shri Pinarayi Vijayanji, a man of sublimity, a man of grace. I remember every minute I spent with him when he called on me when I assumed the office of Vice President. He brings on the table huge commitment, directional approach, and statesmanship. Honorable Speaker of Kerala Legislative Assembly, Shri A.N. Shamsir ji. Shamsir is a word that carries a meaning in itself. He is energetic. Honorable Deputy Speaker of Kerala Legislative Assembly, Shri Chittayam Gopakumar, Honorable Leader of Opposition of Kerala Legislative Assembly, Shri V.D. Sathisan, Shri K. Radha Krishnan, Honorable Minister for Welfare of Scheduled Caste, Government of Kerala, and also, most importantly, Minister of Parliamentary Affairs, a department that I held 33 years ago at the central level. I had the occasion then to indicate to a prominent magazine of the country that not even my postgraduate wife can understand what is meant by parliamentary affairs. I hope he knows. Honorable ministers, honorable members, distinguished guests, everyone present in the audience, ladies and gentlemen. It is with the greatest pleasure and satisfaction that I associate with the Silver Jubilee celebration of Kerala Legislative Assembly building, Niyam Sabha. I am indeed very grateful to the gracious Honorable Chief Minister and Honorable Speaker of the Assembly for fructifying my participation in this heartwarming event. I am greatly touched by the sentiments expressed. Though I do not understand your local language, I am its great admirer. Something which physically falls on my ears, I can appreciate that it is in my favor. I learned these tactics during 3 years when I was Governor State of West Bengal. Heartiest felicitations to the people of Kerala, and the nation is proud of them. Their energy, their human resource richness, their commitment, their impactful presence in the state and outside, particularly in the field of education and health. I am a beneficiary of it. After 55 years, I'll be paying my respects, my Guru Dakshina, to my teacher in Sainik School. I'll be visiting her, Miss Ratnavali Nair. So I am a beneficiary now to public domain. Congratulations to people of Kerala, their elected representatives, who have worked so tirelessly to give this institution a new dimension. An institution that has flourished by emanating for common cause, those social reform, path-breaking land reforms, innovative ideas by way of legislation in new fields including education and health. Delighted to be in the God's own country, land of pristine beauty, well-known soothing beaches, lush green tea plantations, unique art forms, varied spices, and the Honorable Governor and the Honorable Chief Minister gave me a taste of it in the last 24 hours. Varied spices, tranquil backwaters, and in Alappuzha and Kollam, mountain ranges, wildlife sanctuaries. Thekadi is home to country's largest tiger reserve, so declared in 1978. You all are aware, a great effort is being made in the nation, very successfully, by getting our tiger friends from Africa. I can tell you they are doing well. And those that are here are also doing excellently. When I make a reference to Kerala being land, God's own country, I must pay my salutations to Chatampi Swamikal. He worked for emancipation of women, a great Hindu sage and social reformer. Sri Narayan Guru, another reformer, and a strong believer in social equality, which found place in the preamble of our Indian Constitution. Kuria Elias Chiwara, a great man, a social reformer. Wakam Abdul Qadir Molvi, a teacher, prolific writer, scholar, freedom fighter. Chitira Thirumal Balrama Verma, a king at that time, could contribute so magnificently with sublimity, emanating best of traditions in democracy, which the world is professing at the moment. And I would make particular reference to two former presidents of this country. One, son of the soil, Shri K.R. Narayanji. I had the good fortune and occasion to interact with him when he was a member of Lok Sabha and I was a union minister. It was he who inaugurated this building. What an occasion for us. And what a proud moment for me, that one for whom I had enormous respect. I am associated in some measure with Silver Jubilee celebrations and further improvements. APJ Abdul Kalam, the missile man, may not be son of the soil, but he started his journey that shaped India's space research in a small room in this place. My salutations to all of them. I would be failing in my duty if I do not make reference to some of the other very illustrious sons of this soil that make our Bharat proud, whose contributions are impactfully changing our lives for the better. I would say Padma Swami temple was built by the king, and that king, Marthand Verma, goes down in history for giving us such a temple. EMS Nambudripad, he created global history by becoming the first elected chief minister of a communist party that sent ripples across the globe. As a senior advocate and having been in constitutional position, EMS, as popularly he was known, also faced the constitutional brunt for the first time of Article 356. And that was done at a time when a prime minister was in seat and a future prime minister was heading the organization. I learned how people are enthused with Mammootty, with Mohanlal. They are impressed greatly. I have seen myself on my visits to Middle East and elsewhere. Padam Shri M.A. Yusuf Ali is generating positive vibes. I've seen it myself. Padam Bhushan, Yesudas, the musician, who does not know him? And ladies and gentlemen, hold your breath. We have a nominated member from your state in Rajya Sabha, P.T. Usha. And she is on the panel of vice chairman. Queen of Indian track and field. I would make it a point next time to visit her village so that I know what is there in Payali so special that she has made the entire nation proud. Ladies and gentlemen, if we go a little further, when I became a minister, Chaudhry Devilal was Deputy Prime Minister, a man who believed in farm development. I was Parliamentary Affairs Minister at the junior level of governance of more than a dozen parties. Had the good fortune to be associated with all of you. Suddenly, I was directed that we'll be meeting a great man who will tell us what agriculture is, what growth it can generate, along with 3 other distinguished members of parliament drawn from rural background like me. We had Dr. Varghese Kurian, the milkman. He is making us proud. We had Mr. Sridharan, the metro man. And who can forget the great contributions, which is giving us a big mileage now. India's research in space has gone to the next generation. Only a few months back, Indian Space Organization had the good fortune to put in the orbit satellites of leading countries. I'm making reference, ladies and gentlemen, to Sri G. Madhavan Nair, a great man. It took United States a long time, more than 150 years, it will be more, to have the first lady judge of the Supreme Court of the United States. But we had one in a much shorter period in the name of M. Fatima Bibi. She was from this state. The first woman to be judge of the Supreme Court, and thereafter the situation has been positively on the rise. Who can forget the only Olympian from the state, Manuel Frederick, Arjuna awardee, Arjun Bobby George, Nightingale of South India, Padam Shri, K.S. Chitra, Padam Bhushan now. All these people have contributed and are representative. The list is long. I will not be making reference to politicians because their list is all the more. Any omission by me, I may suffer. So I leave it at that. I will not be venturing. We have an energetic local member of Parliament, Lok Sabha. We have in Rajya Sabha, Alamaram Karim, always alert, alert like a tiger. We have mild-mannered Muralidharan. When once I called him Muralidhar, somebody took objection that his name is Muralidharan. I said, you are making a mistake. I am not taking his name, I am calling him Muralidhar. Muralidhar is name of a god. So I will not make a mistake in that. We have enormously talented people. I leave it at that. Ladies and gentlemen, I landed yesterday and straight we went to Padma Swami temple. He spent more than an hour, prayed for the state and the nation, for larger humanity. Every second I spent there is indelibly imprinted in my mind and heart. What a great thing. You get a different feeling. And Providence, as it say, it is located, situated in Kerala. I was blessed. The tranquil ambience and captivating architecture of the majestic temple reflects rich heritage of Kerala. On this occasion, I again reiterate, may the Lord's blessings continue to touch the countless souls seeking guidance and solace. Niyam Sabha Assembly Building Foundation was laid in 1979. It took a long time. But take note of it. Somebody could feel the need in 1979 that we need more infrastructure. We need to evolve with changing times. And then we had the good occasion on 22nd May 1998 when the then President of India, K.R. Narayanji, inaugurated it. I would invite, ladies and gentlemen, your attention to what the then President said. Son of the soil here, enormously talented. He belonged to the prestigious Indian Foreign Service. I quote, this is what he said. In the great tree of Indian democracy, Kerala has been a flowering branch bearing some of the rarest fruits. I pause here for a minute. I made reference to those fruits. Innovative legislation, serving larger public cause. So he said so. He goes on to say, I say this not out of bias for my own home state. And then look at the honesty of the man, what he says further. A bias that I readily acknowledge. I say so because democracy was inherent in the thought and culture of Kerala, despite many anti-democratic features that are crept into that deformed its society. The idea of freedom and unity, he goes on to add, which is the soul of democracy, undoubtedly it is, was instinct in philosophy of sanskara as it was in Upanishads, I unquote. On this occasion, I urge you all to go through every word that has been spoken by K.R. Narayanji. He was born in the state. He considered his bias, but what he reflected was full of objectivity, far-sightedness. Democracy cannot blossom. Democracy cannot prosper unless there is inclusive growth, something which has been emphasized by these speakers. Over these 25 years, these hallowed precincts, this building has witnessed evolution of Keralite society, serving as crucible where numerous debates generated executive accountability, a nerve center of many a path-breaking legislation. A reference has been made to this by the Honorable Speaker, and elaborately I could make out, though I was not fluent in language, by the discourse of the Honorable Chief Minister, and crystallized icing on the cake, cherry on the cake, by the Honorable Governor, emphasized it. Buildings such as this are beyond work of brick and mortar. They are symbol of hope, reflecting aspirations of the people and imparting reassurance to the public at large. It is a crucible of blossoming of democratic values. Ladies and gentlemen, Kerala is known for its forward-thinking perspective and unwavering commitment to social justice. This reputation is manifested, as was indicated by earlier speakers, in series of enactments and progressive legislations. The Legislative Assembly of Kerala has to its credit many progressive legislations worth noticing by other legislatures. The Kerala Legislative Assembly building represents the will of the people, a spirit of democracy, a sense of the Constitution, is working to realize the preamble of Indian Constitution for the people at large. I firmly believe that in the years to come, this building will continue to be happening theatre, representing and fructifying ever-growing aspirations of people of Kerala, while further fortifying the democratic ideals enshrined in the Constitution of India. We are living in times that are changing every moment, and that every moment is a challenge to legislature. Legislature has to come at a level. Let me divert slightly. Artificial intelligence. We all were captivated by it. We were enthused by it. And suddenly there is a moment, go slow. Everyone is talking about it. Regulation has to emanate from such theaters where I am at the moment. It is gratifying and very satisfying to learn that each tenure of the Assembly, more than 100 legislations have been passed. Friends, passing a legislation is not a mechanical job. Passing a legislation means you are thoughtfully involved. What you give to the people at large, there has to be convergence of various ideas. And in that context, I can reflect to the credit of this Assembly. Their committee system is appreciated extensively. Current legislators, as you all are, some of are here, you inherit a shining legacy. And a shining legacy is always a challenge. To sustain it, you will have to work and overwork and be in overdrive. Some of you may have been in a river. If you stand in a flowing river, even to be at the same place, you will have to keep on moving your feet. Be in a river at the same place, you will be swept. So you have to protect this rich legacy. You share with your predecessors fundamental role in making laws for continually changing societal platform, anticipating need of the society and giving it what is contemporary need of the times. Friends, this occasion also provides us with a rare opportunity to reflect, to think within the challenges that are there to democratic spirit. This iconic institution has to come up to that level. It is aptly called Niyam Sabha, and this word is understood all over. Niyam is a common expression in any language, so is Sabha. It's a fine complex, I could make out. Facilities are great. Architecture is unique. A sense of democracy, friends, lies. If you have to define democracy, if you have to give one definition that is acceptable globally, a sense of democracy lies in prevalence of the ordainment of the people reflected through legitimized platform like assemblies, parliament. This is the essence of democracy. In any democracy of any form, without hesitation, I can assert before you, parliamentary sovereignty is inviolable. Parliamentary sovereignty is not optional. Parliamentary sovereignty is inalienable facet of any democratic governance. Without parliamentary sovereignty, democracy has no meaning. And everyone who is in legislature and parliament is under oath to abide by it. Let me go to the national mood. The nation justifiably expects from parliament and legislatures to take decisive directional lead in reaffirming and announcing the core values of the Republic and set up traditions of parliamentary democracy exemplifying higher deliberative, emulative standards. I mean it categorically. If the conduct displayed in parliament and legislatures is not worth emulation, there is something wanting, something seriously lacking, and that must catalyze thinking in our minds. Today we are in Amrit Kal, and the greatest opportunity and challenge of Amrit Kal is that we are laying foundations today of what Bharat will be in 2047 when it celebrates centenary of its independence. Effective and productive legislature functioning is the safest guarantee to blossoming and preserving democratic values and holding executive accountable. No one disagrees. If there is no effective functioning of legislature or parliament, the government of the day is always happy and delighted. So is the bureaucracy. The ultimate weapon of the people to hold government accountable, those who administer us accountable, is to have vibrantly functioning legislatures and parliament. Ladies and gentlemen, we are a country with great civilizational ethos. On this momentous issue, we can draw motivation, inspiration, guidance from our Constituent Assembly. The Constituent Assembly deliberated making of the Constitution for 3 years. They faced very divisive issues, contentious issues. People had different opinions. Opinions could not be easily reconciled. They engaged in dialogue, discussion, deliberation, and found a solution. They never believed in confrontation, they believed in collaborative stance. On a point of record, I can tell you, over 3 years, there was not a single disruption or a disturbance in the Constituent Assembly. Let us think within and try to find a way out. There is a worrisome trend I've seen all around, which we need to stamp out. I have a point of view. Someone else will have other point of view. I am not prepared to listen to the other point of view. In any civilized society, in any democratic form of governance, minimum you owe to the system is, please consider the opposite point of view. The other point of view. Consideration of the other point of view is not agreeing to that point of view. And experience shows, more often than not, the other point of view may be the correct point of view. I want to suggest to you and plead with you, develop a culture. A point of view will not be rejected at drop of a hat. Consider it. It is your option to agree or not to agree. But if we take a rigid stand that we will not consider the other point of view, that will not be the true democratic spirit. Democracy blossoms, prospers, And if I may indicate, it survives and sustains on there being unqualified reception, consideration of the other point of view. I wish to leave another thought with you. Where is the wit? Where is the humor? Where is the sarcasm? And where is the ridicule, positive ridicule, which used to be there in Parliament, in legislatures? It is missing. It has to be explosion of talent, wit, humor, ideas, innovations. When I reflect and go through the anecdotes, the kind of exchanges that have taken place between stalwarts, you are de-stressed, you are motivated. It has disappeared. Sir, I plead with you, revive. शेर भी होना चाहिए, शायरी भी होना चाहिए. You must reveal your mind. I am sure you will take care of it. Ours is a large democratic nation, unmatched in its diversity anywhere on the planet. No geographical part of the world in the shape of a nation can claim to be so diversified and rich as our country. And this has to be our shared joy. I don't belong to Kerala, but my last 24 hours, I have been on top of the world, getting surcharged, energized, coming to know a place which is so rich, coming to know its culture and history, contribution of its human resource for global welfare. I would make another suggestion apart from getting wit, humor, and sarcasm on the plate. And that is, not all issues in democracy are looked through political prism. We have to take off our political glasses sometimes when the issues are concerning the nation. National interest has to be the ultimate primacy. We as a nation have to rise like a plateau together. There are several areas in which Kerala is far ahead. It has to share. Similarly, it has to get from other states also. But when it comes to the nation, non-negotiable, non-compromising, non-optional commitment, unqualified commitment to the growth of the nation is required. Ladies and gentlemen, legislators in particular, I leave a thought with you. Can we weaponize as a political strategy disruption and disturbance of the House? I can tell you, there is widespread anguish, pain by the people, students, young people. Why Parliament and legislatures are not debating? Why they are not discussing? Why we are spending crores of rupees only for disturbance? I preside Rajya Sabha. Each member of the Rajya Sabha is very talented. They bring on the table huge experience. They need to immobilize their remote controls so that they contribute maximum in Rajya Sabha, maximum in Parliament, maximum in Legislature. It is particularly for the presiding officers, the Honorable Speaker is here, and leaders of the House to create a scenario where they don't scratch the surface. Scratching the surface is not the strategy these days. Dive deep, analyze the malaise, create a national consensus. The temples of democracy will be used for deliberation, debate, dialogue, discussion. Trust me, democracy will be threatened If these temples of democracy do not do their job, then the job will be done somewhere else. Another aspect, we have in the country constitutional authorities. Constitutional authorities have to exemplify their conduct that inspires confidence in the people. They will have to exhibit a conduct that is not a public stance. They will have to exhibit a conduct of propriety, dignity, and decorum. Our institutions are functioning well. We have the world's most vibrant democratic nation. Our democracy, my dear friends, is working at the village level, constitutionally, at the municipal level, constitutionally, at the state level, at the central level. No country in the world can lay such a claim. Our judiciary is doing an excellent job. Our constitutional institutions, election commission and the like, are having global appreciation. I was in the United Kingdom, more than 20 parliamentarians met me. They wanted countries of the world to emulate handling of elections by the Election Commission of India. I have seen judges from outside in salutation to Indian judiciary. Where on the planet you can get a judiciary where you can knock the door immediately and get relief if you deserve one? Let us not run down our institutions. Our institutions are evolved over decades. We can't suffer taint on them. We can't allow anyone to tarnish them. Our institutions are our mother. We can have a view, but urge to take on institutions is not appropriate. I'm sure you'll bear in that mind. To ensure that the nation continues on its upward trajectory, national interest has to get primacy. But let me tell you, friends, what is happening in the world at the moment. Contemporaneous global scenario. In last few years, the governments at the center and states have taken a number of initiatives and policies that have created an ecosystem that you can fully exploit your talent and potential. The result of this is that in September 2022, less than a year ago, India had the good fortune to be the 5th largest economy of the planet. A decade ago, we were at number 11. From number 11, we came to number 5. And there was icing on the cake. We overtook whom? Our erstwhile colonial rulers. By turn of the decade, India will be the 3rd largest economy. And I have no doubt, the way we are going, the kind of inclusive growth we are promoting, in 2047, when Bharat will be celebrating centenary of its independence, we will be a global leader, acknowledged. On this occasion, therefore, I would say, when Bharat is on the rise as never before, the rise is unstoppable. The growth is on incremental trajectory. Let us all be proud Indians and take pride in our accomplishments. I have seen for myself amazing response of people to the contribution our diaspora is making. People of Kerala were singled out when I was there in Dubai, when I was there in Qatar. They have huge infrastructure. They appreciated Indian skill, Indian genius, Indian contribution. They're making us proud wherever we go. Friends, your state has commendably done in digital work. Honorable Chief Minister indicated to me. Let me share with you a figure which I shared in London when I had gone to attend the coronation of Charles III. And everyone was looking at me in disbelief. I said, I'm dishing out hard statistics. Let me share the two figures with you. One, in 2022, and this is official record, undisputed. In 2022, India registered digital payment transactions amounting to US dollars 1.5 trillion. A great achievement. This 1.5 trillion US dollar transaction in digital terms was 4 times the combined transaction of US, UK, France, and Germany. Could we have imagined something better? All these US, UK, France, Germany together, multiply by 4. Still we beat them. Come to the other aspect. The world evaluated it and recognized a digital development. International Monetary Fund, where a daughter of this state is holding a very critical, important position, Geeta Gopinath. The world is proud of her contribution. That body said, I quote, India is possessed of world-class public infrastructure, serving as a model for other nations undergoing digital transformation. Track record of your state is excellent on this count. Another figure which I shared with the people in the world, and they said, is this happening? I said, it's a ground reality. One, India has over 700 million internet users. Per capita mobile data consumption last year exceeded such consumption in the US, in China, and taken together. Put the data consumption of China and US together, we were more than that. What is happening on the ground is amazing. I'm saying so because I'm here 25 years. This premise has been used to change the society for the better, giving landmark legislations, path-breaking ideas have seen, innovation was there, result is being felt. There is no pilferage these days. When money has to go from state government or central government to the beneficiary, we never thought of it. Jan-Dhan accounts, Aadhaar number, mobile telephony. I know as a farmer, if 2.25 lakh crores, 2.25 lakh crores could go to 11 crore farmers, I am not on the money. I am on the mechanism that all those 11 crore farmers had accounts. They could get the money direct. What a development we are proud of it. Gratifying to note that with one of the highest internet penetrations amongst the states, I'm talking, Honorable Chief Minister, about your state. Your penetration in this area is one of the highest in the country. You therefore know the impact of it. Creation of technology parks, electronic cities. Kerala is in forefront to harness the potential of the people at large. And I'm sure it will continue to do so. The state's quality human resource, combined with this progressive culture, I'm sure it will be scripting a new history of inclusive growth. And that will happen. The government of India has launched the Digital India program in the year 2015 for digital infrastructure empowerment. I pause here for a moment. Just imagine for a moment if India had not launched this program. Imagine for a moment. Things would have gone the wrong way. There would have been no occasion to send money direct. The middleman would have been there. Human interfacing would have been there. And we would not have faced the COVID the way we did. This is a great development. Ladies and gentlemen, I take great pride in sharing with you that the Kerala diaspora in the Middle East, North America, Oceania have contributed immensely to the state's gross domestic product through their remittance, which is one of the highest in the country. Another aspect, our Constitution provides freedom of speech to everyone. But there is greater freedom of speech given to the legislators and parliamentarians. If they say something in the parliament or legislature, ordinary citizen cannot take them to court. There can be no defamation, no civil case, no criminal case. A great opportunity, a great privilege. I firmly believe this is with heavy responsibility. There cannot be trading of false informations. There cannot be free fall of information. There to be deep sense of accountability. I am working on it. I plead with the speakers. They must seriously think about it. If you have a point, you can back it with facts, say it on the floor. You just can't make a loose remark of fact and ruin reputation of the people or run down the country. I'm sure this is an issue where there will be healthy debate so that we move forward. Friends, we are at critical juncture of the history. And I say so because it is for the first time the world is looking at India. The world awaits our voice. Ukraine is one war where everyone has looked at us and others. India's policies are dictated now by national interest. And the world waits to see what will be India's response. I am extremely pleased to share with you that the central government and state governments are marching ahead in tandem and togetherness on most issues, generating wholesome ecosystem to ensure enduring welfare and empowerment of the people which is taking place. Time for all constitutional entities, this is my prayer to all. We must coalesce. We must come together. We must work in tandem. We must have collaborative stance. We must not be in confrontational mode. We must work towards realization of preamble of the Indian Constitution, inclusive growth. And then I can tell you, there will be absolute geometric growth of the nation, which already is taking place. I conclude by expressing deep sense of gratitude to the Honorable Chief Minister and the Honorable Speaker for affording me this great opportunity to share some of my ideas with the enlightened people of state of Kerala. I know everyone present here is a nerve center and epicenter, and the ideas will have far-reaching consequences for the better and betterment of humanity. And that is why, on this occasion when India is heading G20, the motto is One Earth. That is a sense of our age-old civilization ethos. Once again, thank you for your patience. Thank you.
May I once again request all of you